Hey guys, what's up? Today we will going to discuss a very interesting question in which you have to find all the palindrome words present inside that word and you have to print it in a given pattern. So let me explain you what's the pattern. So suppose user gave an input madam, M-A-D-M, madam. It is palindrome, so you have to print like this in a normal way, and inside this word palindrome you have to find all the words which are in palindrome. Here ADA is also in palindrome, so we have printed ADA, and you have to leave a gap for those letters which are not in palindrome. Suppose M is not in palindrome with ADA, so you have to separate the palindrome word and the rest of the palindrome word and the rest of the letters with a single gap like this. So we will going to get this output with the help of three methods. In this video we will be discussing a single method in which we will be checking that whether a given word is palindrome or not. Okay, so you might be thinking that what's new in this video? You know how to check whether a word is palindrome or not. You know it. So believe me, here's something new for you in which you will learn how to use recursion. You might have heard that word recursion. What does recursion mean? Recursion means calling a method again and again by itself. What I'm saying, what I'm saying. Suppose this is a method. Check string as int fl. You have to call it again and again with the help of this line, check as fl. Inside this block of code or inside this method, you have to write one single line with the help of which you will call this method again and again and use it as a loop. You might say that, or use it as a loop to run this statement again and again and get a required result. Okay, it is very similar to the loop as if it runs the same statement or the same block of code again and again with some increased value or decreased value or some other value. Okay, so recursion goes on in steps. You have to keep in mind recursion stops when it get a written value. When you get a returned value means you have to give this method a value which will be of this data type, which you will mention before the method name, as I have mentioned boolean over here. So to stop running this block of code, you have to give a return of boolean data type. Understanding? In for loop, suppose in for loop you give a condition for running that for loop. So same here, you have to give a written output. Written means return a value which is true over here or false over here, which will be of this data type, which you will mention before the function or method name. So there are three conditions: if this one, if this one, and then else this one. Okay, so how this recursion will be performed? Suppose in first step you come across this code, you got no return, then again after getting to this line it will call this method again with some s value, f value, and l value. Then again this will check whether you are getting or not. If you're not getting, then it will call it again this code will run. And in third step, if you get any value which is of boolean data type, then it will stop running. It will get out through this code, and in step 3's return will go to step 2's return, and step 2's return will go to step 1 return, and after getting to the step 1 it will give you an output that this the given string is true or the given string is false. Okay, here's true or false. In some other case there might be some other value. Okay, so starting with this method here, string as int f and int l. S is a string data type variable which will take the word, which we will check that whether the word is palindrome or not, and f is the first index of that word. F is the first index of that word and l is the last index of that word. So let's take an example. Suppose madam over here. So madam's m is f and last m is l. So f will denote this character and l will denote this character. If l is equals to if f is equals to l, or f is greater than l. Why I've written that? When the f index and the l index represent the same character, when the f's value and the l's value is same, then you will return true. Or f value is greater than l. F's value will be greater than l when you will give a word which will have even number of characters. Take an example. Let's take an example: A B C C B A. So here when the f's value will be greater than else value, then it will return true. So you might be thinking that why it is written over here. I will going to explain you this why I have written this. Starting from here, if s dot char at f, if the character at first position is equals to s dot char at l, the character at last position, when both the first one and the last one's character is same, then we will increase the value of l and increase the value of l, decrease the value of l. That was my mistake. Take that example again, madam. So s dot char at f, s dot char at f means here first of all when the method first begins, then f value is 0 and else value is length minus 1, here is 4. So the first index and the last index value must be same, then f value will increase and l will decrease. So if this condition is true, then this condition will not true. This condition is true, then f will increase and l will decrease. And again, after coming to this line, return check s f l. So s value will be same as madam and f value will be increased by 1 as we have done over here. F value will denote the this index a, and l value will denote this index a. That means the second index and the second last index. Again, this method will run again and it will check that whether the f's value is equals to l or f is greater than l. And if it is not true, then this block of statement will run. Then it will check that whether the second last or the second last and the third last characters are same or not. If it is same, then again it will increase f and decrease l. By like this code will run again and again until the f's value or the f's value and the else value denote the same character or the f is greater than l. Here after running it again and again, a time will come when f will denote d and l will denote d, then it will return true. Or if you give a word of even characters, then f will be greater than l, then it will return true. Okay. And suppose you may face or you get a non-palindrome word, then what will happen? Let me give an input. So man is not a palindrome word. So s dot char at f, it might happen then running through the code you got first one and the last one same, second one and the second last one same, and in third one and the third last one are not same. Then what will happen that this else condition will run. This else condition will return false and this whole method will return false. Step 3, suppose step 3 has returned false, and then step 2 return false, then step 1 return false, and step 1 after that you get an output that this palindrome word, this is not a palindrome word. You